I'm Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Welcome to Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags.
Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
This town needs an enema. Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumba Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It was worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Guess Captain Soundboard doesn't know how to run the soundboard.
It's yet another in a long series of diversions in an attempt to avoid responsibility.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do?
Ludicrous speed! Go!
Once again, we are live. Raw Radio X, the IT and the D show, Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. This is the IT and the D show presented by DetroitNet.org. This is Bob the Sales Guy, joined by Dave the Geek, Jeff the Voice of Reason. We got a great guest today. This is episode 12. These are the droids you're looking for. We got
these are the droids you're looking
Mark
for.
here from Duo Security. How we do?
Very well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. We had a great conversation we should have taped. That was at
Isn't
Third
that
Street.
always the case, though?
We just need to bring a recording studio to the bar next time. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is what's the today it wasn't raining. There's no films being here. There's no guy stabbing people in the neck. I mean, this is the elevator was on the bottom floor for once. This is like the perfect, nothing was going
The
wrong.
trifecta. Just don't jinx us now.
Yeah, exactly. Something's going to blow up. I can feel it.
Our mics weren't working like 30 seconds ago, but all is well now.
How's everybody's weekend was good?
Details.
Outstanding, actually. Wound up working a lot this weekend, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So, this was the last week of October.
And this is how the show's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that look.
The look of death.
Yeah, it was the last week of Oktoberfest for me. Bought Grand Theft Auto 5.
Holy Week for you. You still got a beer in your hand.
I do.
Yeah.
A couple more days of Holy Week. Then
like you said at the bar, it ends when I says it ends.
Well, Dakota Inn runs Oktoberfest all the way through the end till Halloween, so that's when Oktoberfest ends for me.
When does it officially end? Like seriously, officially?
It starts like September 17th, whatever that and it runs for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay.
You know those wacky Germans, Oktoberfest is.
Well, it's like that European vacation thing I posted on your Facebook today. That was more accurate for you.
Oh, the Clark Griswold.
Clark Griswold.
Yeah. No, and it's the dumbest. Why they celebrate? Like, why do they celebrate? It's like, well, it's king. If you ever read the history, it's the king's wedding reception, and they just kept on partying, and then they did it every year for
3 weeks.
Yeah, for hundreds of years. It's like any excuse to have a drink. They're worse than we are.
Nice.
Worse than the Irish.
Exactly.
Well, just from an an order of business perspective. So, we wanted to dive into. We had our pink slip party.
We did
Thursday night over at St. Andrews Hall.
Wow, did we? If you missed that, I don't know.
Yeah, it truly was over the top ridiculous. So we've been doing these.
You're dead to us,
right? We've been doing these since May of 2009. And eventually we will kill ourselves trying to outdo the last.
No, I think we finally found a home. We always outgrew, I think we finally found a home. St. Andrews Hall is perfect for what we want to get done.
Other than parking.
But
that's like all of south of 8 Mile.
It's any major metro you go downtown, you're going to pay for parking. What can we do?
Right. Well, we had the trifecta. The Tigers game just got out. It was rush hour. People are going to complain regardless. So,
a good time was had by all.
Exactly.
The free beer wasn't cold enough.
Bob was keeping people from getting Long Islands on the free bar.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can have a beer, but just that beer.
That robot you had, the lights weren't twinkling enough.
That's right. Of the 2,600 LEDs, one was off.
Yeah, at 7 o'clock, it was kind of. I was looking at the people's faces because I told them like, "Hey, play." We got the Cryo. If you guys don't know what he is, he's like the guy on opening day. He's got like blue LEDs and like looks like Megatron. 9 foot tall.
2,600 LEDs.
He's
right?
9 feet tall. Looks like your childhood Light Bright and Optimus Prime had a bastard child, and it's just outstanding.
Well, the music was low and everything was kind of calm, and I told the guys, "Hey, play
the music was low because you booked the Renaissance Festival
They were
guitar
good.
player.
He was
they walked off, and the lights dimmed, and everyone's just doing their own thing, and in walks him, and you should have seen the expression.
The
on their
Renaissance
faces.
guy's there. He's an IT geek. I wanted to keep it in the family. What do you know? Next time I'll book Motley Crue for you. Yeah, I'd say play Daft Punk or play something a little mellow. He blasts Skillrex like the loudest I've ever heard, like almost like concert level loud. And everyone's looking. I mean, the guy didn't come out for another like 4 minutes.
Could we get a syllable check on
Skrillex? Yeah,
Skillrex.
Was there a niner in there?
Yeah.
No, I'm the guest. I can pull up whatever I want.
Yeah, please. Go to town.
Skrillex.
Making fun of how we pronounce Skillrex. I'm glad I don't know how to pronounce that.
Emphasis on the syllable.
It's right. It's all about the syllable emphasis. Absolutely.
Him too. It's better if I got to deal with you two.
It needs a new paradigm.
Excellent. We have another one of us.
Yeah, you have just become a regular.
I'm leaving.
Well, no, but I mean, hands
plan
down,
succeeded.
Right. No, I mean, Cryo walking in, hands down, was seriously the only moment. As many crazy and bizarre moments as we've had at our events over the years, that's the first time where literally the entire room shut up, spun in one direction, and everybody pulled out their phones and started.
Because the age of the cell phone just reminded me of the picture of the Vatican.
Pictures and videos all over the place. It was outstanding. But I mean, it worked out well. I mean, it's the surprise we wanted it to be. It was the event that we wanted it to be.
How are we going to outdo? I just don't understand.
I wanted to have stormtroopers have guards, but I think it's kind of cliche passe at this point not to have. It wouldn't have made any sense.
To have the stormtroopers and Cryo?
Yeah, just stormtroopers walk around like, what are they for? Security.
It would have been great if he would have walked up to one of the stormtroopers and shot him with the
that
CO2.
Yeah. Next to the only part
put him in frozen carbonite.
The only thing that was worth was blowing up skirts. There's guns from his hands.
Oh yeah, the freezing fog gun. Yeah,
right.
That was outstanding.
But other than that, I mean, we had close to 100 recruiters.
We were close to 150 based on the tags that got picked up, plus all the blanks that we burned through. Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, everything we've been harping on people about, that the market has changed so drastically in the last. I mean, clearly in the last 4 years since we did our first Pink Slip party, but even just in the last year, where recruiters are dying for anybody with a good head on their shoulders, a decent, marketable skill set in any way, shape, or form. I
really think we need to have a conversation because, like I said, the market's changed where the recruiters are looking for almost like the established guy, and the people that show up are people that are kind of unemployed. So, the fact that we don't tell hey, if you want not if you want a new job, but if you're mildly looking, you need to be here. Because I think guys are scared. They don't want to put that they're at the Pink Slip party or that they went. Like, why the hell are you going there?
Well, you know what? That was actually one of the funniest things that happened to me is that there were probably...
Wasn't there a couple guys that were doing that? Like, they were clandestine? Like, they didn't want to put out their name tag.
There were people from my office that were
walking around.
Well, the best part was that a couple of them, when they walked in and they saw me, they were like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, dude, it's my group, it's my event. What are you doing here? They're like, "I'm just coming to meet
I'm not here. You don't see me."
Yeah, exactly.
Look that way.
This is not the event you're looking for. Well, but the best part was when they ran into each other later in the night, and you could do that whole mutual, "What are you doing here?"
But that's not. I mean, we don't try to promote that. I mean, everyone. If you're in IT and everyone's always passive.
Networking.
Yeah, you're not there to jump ship at the next opportunity.
Next year is all about Bucharest grilled grape leaves and shawarma.
Oh my God, shawarma! That's like crack cocaine.
It's amazing when you put out like the last one. There was we had lousy food. Nobody touches it. This one got absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
And I'm happy though. Everybody
decimated.
Everyone, with something like that, you don't really want to stuff your face because you're talking to hiring managers and whatnot. But
Well, it actually worked out good, better that there was not enough pitas there because everyone was eating it with a fork and not,
no doubt.
didn't have greasy hands, shaking hands.
No, but I like the fact too that we had open bar, but we didn't announce it, so it's kind of like, oh, thank you, instead of promoting it and
all the vultures show up. And,
right.
Free food, free beer. I'm out of here.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. This event sucks.
Thanks for the booze and the food. I'm out.
Yeah. I didn't find anything. Why'd you leave at 6:30?
Well,
wasn't people walking out?
People were leaving at 6:30.
They were leaving at 5:30. 5:30. They were leaving like as soon as it opened.
You know what? So be it. Yeah, so be it. I'm sorry. If how can we set up a more perfect event with recruiters? Free food, free beer. You don't have to drink. But for crying out loud, if you walk through that room and not talk to any recruiters and leave and complain that you didn't find an opportunity,
the one
whose fault is that?
The one that caught me, and I was telling
it's
Bob
ridiculous.
about this.
It drives me nuts.
No, I told Bob about this one, and this one killed me. So, I'm standing outside having a smoke, basically at about 5:30, 5:45 before it's going to get really... before it's going to get really crazy, because it usually starts jumping up at about 6. And one of the guys that comes to our events all the time is walking out. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Are you leaving?
Yeah,
and he was like, and he was like, well, I walked around and, nobody was really coming up to me and, nobody was extending their hand and nobody, I said, like, I just kind of got the vibe they weren't interested. So, and this is, the same conversation Bob and I had. So you go to a bar.
It's like networking is like dating. Like, I'm single. I'm going to go to a sports bar and I'm going to walk out in a half an hour because no girls came up to me.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I'd be a lonely man. But this guy left because the recruiters weren't hounding him. It's like, wait a minute, you need the job, right? I don't know if that's
I'm sorry, he's doing it wrong.
The entitlement age. Oh, I don't know or it's just him. Because we get a couple every event where it's just like,
you can't help him.
Shake my head.
Yeah. I don't know what. Kind of dumbfounded, actually.
Well, yeah, and that's one of those things where it's really hard to combat, just because it's. What do you tell those people? And there were a few people that that were wandering out that I caught and had that same conversation with, and they got it, and they dove back in. But there was that one guy and a few others that just kind of hemmed and whatever, and shuffled their way out. And okay, that's why you don't have a job.
Mm-hmm. Well,
or why you don't have one you like.
There's egos at play, right? There are people that think people should know me here. They should be coming up and asking me to take a job with them, and it's just a bad perception.
There's ego in the IT community.
No, I know, shocking.
No,
yeah, I know.
That never happens, Bob.
I wouldn't have dreamt it.
Well, no, but we did have, just taking a look back at the whole 10 Commandments of networking thing. There was a huge outbreak of anxiety. There were a lot of people that it was their first event there, but a lot of people at least took our advice. There was the one person that showed up with their sister. There were people that showed up
with their father.
Yeah, showed up with their father. But
she was spying.
But that's exactly what that was. But it is. They people that actually take our advice and approach these in the right way, with the right mindset, with the right goals in mind, get it. And those are the people that wind up coming back to us and saying, "Hey, I got a job at your event."
And
hey,
thank you.
Yeah,
there must. Collectively, 100. There must have been. I'd say I'm just throwing a stab at the dark. There was over 2,000 available jobs from those recruiters that showed
easily.
up.
Yeah,
from the different. From the GEs of the world. Quicken was there.
From help desk to senior management, easily.
Yeah, and I remember you always pick you can't have a conversation with everybody as being the organizers, but I remember maybe like a dozen people that I said, what do you do? And he's like, a PM, and I made it a point to like, hey, are you looking for PMs? Yeah. Then I drag him over. I'm like, if he didn't walk out of there with a gig. Oh, and then the funniest one was the girl says, what do you do? And she's like, .net. I go, no, are you just mocking us?
that was the one that showed up with her sister.
Purple unicorn.
Right.
I said, no,
if you're not being flocked right now.
Yeah.
I said, so help me God, if you don't find a job by the end of this thing, I'm going to beat your living ass. She looked at me like, I'll pretend, like, what are you talking about? I go, no, every recruiter here is looking for you.
Yeah, there's not one that isn't.
It's like you need an orange flag with a .net thing on it. Come talk to me.
Now we could have put her on a big chair and just go, come to me, my children. They would have flocked
They would have flocked to her.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Shine the spotlight from the roof. And like, it's her. Like,
yeah, just have Cryo stand next to her.
Yes,
all night.
right.
Shooting dry ice everywhere.
But again, it's one of those things where we talk about it. There's so much build up to that thing. It's like, how do you come back from that? And
that's why we decided to only do these twice a year.
I don't think we could do them more than that. No, because they get.
I don't want to do them more than twice a year.
Right. But I guess it's a good point. We talk about Bucharest Grill. We talk about the open bar and all that kind of stuff. We do. Owe the sponsors that we had a huge shout out.
Absolutely.
Just because without them.
wouldn't have happened.
None of this, we wouldn't have been at St. Andrews Hall. There wouldn't have been an open bar. There wouldn't have been Bucharest Grill. I mean, the three of us lovingly funded this crap from our own pockets for the longest
It would have
time.
been in Bob's basement.
Right. But it's one of those things where, you do.
That's not bad. We do that next time.
Right. Yeah. Pink Slip Party. Yeah. Bo will kill us all.
I don't see the harm in it.
Right. No, but I mean, we had Aero Strategies and Brightwing. Those were the guys, that dove in with us back in March. They were there for the first time that we went down to St. Andrews Hall.
Yep.
They've been great. Aero,
love those guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, Aero in particular has been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point.
06,
Were they mad we didn't wear the hockey jerseys that they ordered for us?
Oh, Brightwing?
Brightwing?
No. That was never going to happen.
No.
Yeah. We did that once. I was like, yeah.
We did it at the Yelp event. We're not doing it again.
Right.
And we did have...
As far as they know.
Right.
We might break them out in a surprise.
Right.
I do give them credit, though, for ordering us hockey. They ordered these coolest hockey jerseys for us, and they didn't do it like when you get the free jersey at the Wings game, and it's got like the Meyer logo on the back. I'm glad they didn't.
Well, they actually, laughably enough, they went to the same place that I went to get the XICW jersey done.
Unbeknownst, or
yeah, no,
wow.
yeah. Because April shot me a friend request on Yelp, and she started reading through my reviews, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's so funny! That's where we got your jerseys done." But no, so and then we also had Strategic Staffing Solutions. Good folks,
downtown company.
Yep. Their first time in with us, very very solid. We love Jeremiah and all those guys.
Definitely. I made a point to ask them at least a dozen times, like, "Hey, you getting what you need? You getting what you need?"
Yep.
Yeah, making sure they're satisfied.
Yeah, always first timers that come in feet first like that. You always want to make sure that
Well, and it was and it was the same thing with Logicalis. Matt Thompson's been floating around with our with us forever with different companies, but I mean this was the first time that he dragged Logicalis in. And his whole thing was, basically the cell phone pics that he was shooting to his upper management to, justify being there and all that kind of stuff. And they were coming back with, "Oh my God, that's outstanding. Where are you? What is this place?"
Yeah. What event are you actually at?
Right.
The one that you're paying for right now.
Yeah.
Well, there was someone else that wasn't paying for it that kept asking how many attendees so they could tell their bosses to justify just being there. We're like, really?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Really? Yeah, at least 3 times. Like,
Yeah.
how many people are here right now? We're like, I don't know, 400 or 500.
I don't know. Look in the room.
Yeah.
And then just from a
play Duck Duck Goose. There, count all of them.
Right, exactly. Just walk upstairs and start counting.
Go.
Right. We also had MEDC, which Bob and I, we've done a lot of stuff with MEDC with their shifting gears.
It was
group
like the
over
My
years.
Talent group, the one that's in charge of like.
Yep.
Well, it was funny. Not to segue, we were talking. One of
But
the
you're gonna.
one of the.
You already did.
I forget which recruiting company it was, but they're like, yeah. Do you know anyone that wants to move like to Dallas or California? We have lots of jobs out of state. And I go, the state of Michigan's here for retention, and you're going against everything that we ever talk about just to get people to leave the state to go to Chicago, whatever.
Who was that?
One of the recruiting companies. That was one of the sponsors. She was all over about finding someone. Hey, do you know anyone here that would like relocate to Dallas, or do you know anyone here that would relocate to Chicago? Like that's what we're really looking for.
Well, we had an email exchange about that before the event, though.
I did
wasn't
not
it?
hear that story.
You just heard it now.
Yeah, nice.
I thought we had an email exchange. Somebody was looking for positions out of state, right? Well, I thought it was Texas.
Well, yeah, there was.
You sent them to Venus Boy,
Yep,
right?
Yeah, because I mean they.
But that's not the same guy.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that was a recruiting company actually looking to pull people out of town.
Pull people. Okay. Got it.
But yeah, State of Michigan, the My Talent Group. They were. What was now that they were talking about? Their whole purpose is what retention and development and training in state.
Well, yes, I mean they've got the Michigan, and they've even got the Michigan campaign, which is basically going to the Chicago's and Dallas's and other cities
Bringing
in the
people
world
back into the state,
right? That says, hey, look, Michigan's not the desolate wasteland that you heard it was. There's a
Do
lot
not
of good
believe
stuff.
the media,
right? Come on back, it's a good thing.
No, I was going to say, I don't like talking about this stuff, but speaking of the state of Michigan, we got a Detroit Net got an award. What was it, last Wednesday from the state of Michigan, the Shifting Gears program. I'm reading it right now. It's the outstanding contribution for the transformation of careers and lives, which made both of us chuckle because we kind of.
Yeah. By the way, whose mantle is that actually on?
Dave's.
Yeah.
Dave stole it from me. He was. That was one of the worst.
I know you had said the clause came out.
We were bickering like ex-husband and wives. Like, you're mean. No, you're a jerk. You're a bigger jerk. I do more work than you.
You're not the boss of me.
You got the he's like, you got the L. Brooks Award. I'm taking this one.
Dave, what would really piss him off if you put him on my mantle?
I called.
I'll take a picture of it.
We were talking the day after. I said, I was going to pay out of pocket and get.
We're having a duplicate made.
Yeah, we're having a duplicate made. It's just shutting me up so I quit crying. I don't, you go through your whole, we put enough into this. We're finally like, all right, we get, that's one of the few awards that we're like, okay, I'm kind of proud of this, right? Like most of the stuff we kind of joke or laugh about, but this is like the one, all right, kind of.
Well, because as we're sitting there, we saw the box of basically Caddyshack trophies that we thought we were going to get.
For the caddy tournament, they're like 3 inches tall, but that was for the shifting gears participants, but
yeah. But no, so then...
who else was there? Oh,
Great Lakes Technology Showcase. They've got their show going on in November.
I was going to say November 5th, is it?
3rd to 5th, yeah.
Something like that,
That's the Telecom Association of Michigan, so it's...
Right.
I think it's more data broadband focused.
Geek out about telecom.
Absolutely.
Be
cloud. We're going to talk about cloud today.
Yes.
Right.
Talking about everything's in the cloud.
And then the other newcomer we had was
it's secure,
Bartech.
right?
Yeah.
The cloud is secure, right, Mark?
Thumbs up.
Right. Bartech, again, one of those companies that's been floating around forever with our events, different incarnations, different recruiters, that kind of stuff.
Gotta love George.
And then the last one we had was New Horizons, and New Horizons actually did a very cool giveaway.
That's a big deal.
You made the pick on that, right?
I did. It was a free tech training class. I'm trying to remember. It was either $2,500 or $3,000.
Wow.
$3,000.
Yeah. So a very cool thing.
When are we announcing the winner?
In the last segment.
In the last segment, we're going to force everybody to listen.
Force everyone to listen.
No one's going to.
It's marketing 101. Come on.
It's like, the 97.
That's
and
right.
we're going to tell you who got injured.
In our next segment.
There's a lion that's out for the season, but we're going to... No, what's it from The Simpsons? There's a food on the market that'll kill you. We're going to tell you after weather and sports.
Right. This product may kill you. Back after this break. So I'm trying to think, any other thing we want to touch on?
Don't forget about Grand River.
What about him?
No, never mind. Sorry, I take it back. Never mind.
They showed up. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, they were there.
They tweeted about us a lot.
They did.
Say they weren't there. They were busy having their own conflicting event, the bastards.
Oh, you're talking... Oh, I'm thinking of... no, that's Grand Circus.
No,
you're right, Grand Circus.
I'm sorry, Grand Circus. My bad.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm like, the Grand River. She brings the...
No, she was there, but I'm talking about Grand Circus.
No, he meant Grand Circus that were off busy having their own conflict.
Well, the one thing I was talking to Steve from Arrow, and he was like, I don't think he came to my Oktoberfest, and he goes, the koozies didn't go over well. I go, because we thought they were going to be Pabst cans.
Yeah, cans.
And they
everything's
started
on
drinking draft beer, right? But then no one told me that he included Stella in the free beer, so I was drinking crappy Bud Light all night. And then I go, I could have had Stella.
You brought me Bud Light, and I could have had Stella?
Yes.
But you don't want Stella in a plastic cup.
Sales guy fan.
You know what? Better than Bud Light in a plastic cup.
Well, whatever.
So when we are looking at the next one, we are already planning ahead. In fact, Shannon...
We already booked it.
Yeah, we booked it. Yeah.
Shannon was nailing us down that night.
313's on a Thursday next year.
It's the second Thursday, though, but that's fine.
Yeah, you know what? Every now and then, it's kind of like our December event. Our December event is never the third Thursday, just because it gets too weird with Christmas and all that other fun happy hoo-ha. But I guess that is a good point to mention, just because it is something that we hammered into people's heads over the course of that night. We do have events more than just these twice-a-year pink slip parties that we do.
We do? We do.
So next month, we've got our October event at the Blackfin, which is on the 17th.
Should have made it at the Dakota. No one will... That's down in Detroit again, though. Never mind. I'll stop talking.
Yeah, let's have an event at a German bar in the middle of Oktoberfest. Great idea.
It will. It's good.
Yeah.
With great parking.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, October 17th is at the Blackfin, and then we've got November taking place back at Falling Down Beer Company, which is very, very cool. They finished their remodel.
Big fans.
Yeah. So, that'll be outstanding, and I'm sure we'll...
No more Denny's booths?
Yeah,
did they keep one booth just for, posterity's sake?
No, they ripped them all out. They're all
not
gone.
even one. Like, there can't be one in the back.
It was it's like the Dale Earnhardt booth. Like, no one's allowed to sit there.
Right, exactly.
Right. And then December will again be...
that could be Bob's booth.
Oh,
right. Here sits Bob and Bob alone.
I remember we used to go on these like pub crawls were just the dive bars before we liked dive bars, right? When we were like 25.
Before it was cool to like dive
we walked
bars?
in and there's like this shrine to Dale Earnhardt, like the hood's over the top and like the whole seat's red and stickers everywhere, and we're sitting there and all the guys are like, you ain't supposed to sit there, that's Dale's booth. We're like, what, really?
Just because he's gonna walk in.
right So that's kind of like they should have kept that one booth that falling down. That would have been absolutely hilarious.
Keep one booth. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, no,
we need to talk to him about that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have him in between now and then.
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer.
Actually, I'll put those booths in my basement. That would be awesome.
They would
a room down there. Yeah, could you get them
on
on
that one wall?
Pivot.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody pivot. You put them outside on your porch. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then December.
Watch the construction.
Yeah, speaking of December 12th will be our annual year-end
blowout.
The happy
Military.
Christmas Kwanzaa, support the troops.
Yes.
Good, fun, happy, shiny nonsense.
Can we Skype in Russ?
Actually, I'm surprised we haven't gotten a phone call from him yet. And so, that for those of you that know Russ,
he's like in Norfolk International Airport right now, isn't he?
I think he's gone further than that by now.
Is he gone? Yeah. Okay.
So Russ is the guy. Russ Dotson's the guy that helped us put together or pull together our last couple year-end support the troops events to get stuff overseas. Russ got reactivated, and so Russ is actually, as we speak, in the process of deploying.
Somalia? Uganda.
Uganda. He was. At first, it was Somalia to fight.
Is that the convenient mart at the corner?
That's where Kamala's from.
I was going to say, wasn't there a Ugandan giant at some point? But so it was Somalia to fight pirates.
Fun of another country.
Yeah. And then it was
so politically correct.
Yeah, exactly. Note to self: do not look at international stats. And then it was Ethiopia, and he was going to hang out at the embassy.
Right.
Which rough life.
Yeah. Nothing to eat there, though.
Nothing.
Send him some shawarma.
Yeah, right.
we had some leftover.
You still get in your backseat of your car. Did you get that out of there, by the way?
Yeah. The car stunk for 2 days because
I'm sure. Nice. And then now he's going to Uganda. So I mean, that's why I don't know what's in Uganda that would involve someone in the Navy, but hey, he's going to Uganda.
Okay.
Crickets.
Yeah, I know you got nothing. Thanks.
Right.
All right, well, we are actually up against our first break already, believe it or not. So we'll come back. We'll dive in with Mark Stanislav from Duo Security and see what he's got going on.
DOS Security.
And
it's for the international.
It's not Du Hasmish. It's not, Bob. Just stop.
Dos.
And we'll go from there.
As ITV show.
We'll be right back.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Barbarian, magician, thief, cavalier, and acrobat.
Who was that?
That was Venger, the force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of...
Flicks.
Have they ever made them a movie, Dungeons and Dragons?
When did you find that? I need to introduce my son to that.
There was a TV movie that they did, and this is how I know it because I was actually it was actually a really, really bad.
It's like the really bad Captain America.
It was called Mazes and Monsters, and it was all about. There was actually a kid that I played D&D with back when I was living in Northern Virginia who killed himself. And they tried. That was when D&D. They tried to start banning Dungeons. Oh, by the way, welcome back to IT and the D.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, hit us up on IT and the D.
Right. They started trying to ban Dungeons and Dragons in schools because they were like,
people are getting too
that kid killed himself because his character died in the game. No, that kid killed himself because he was whacked in the head to begin with.
Well, that's, I was good friends with a kid in high school that got really depressed for like a month because his character got killed off in D&D. Absolutely, that's
how do you kill that?
That's like the 80s version of you going OD on Grand Theft Auto.
I'm 20 hours in so far.
Yeah,
how do you kill that which has no life?
No, I'm not going to lie. I'm 20 hours in, and
we're talking about this at the bar, and he's talking about what were you saying? Something about.
Well, I hit 105 on the lodge today coming in just because I wanted to, but I've been playing Grand Theft Auto so much that it's like, and you're going.
You can start visualizing it in real life.
Yeah,
right?
you're going 180 miles, and you're going in between the traffic. and ducking in and out, and it's just now I'm driving on the lodge, and
that's why I had to stop playing Need for Speed online.
So when you're wrapped around an underpass, that's why we'll understand.
No, I'm a good driver.
That's what it is.
Oh, and everybody else is too.
Yeah, that's right.
The important part. Yeah,
they all suck.
Wait, here lies Bob. Grand Theft Auto 5. Enough said.
It's like the anti-defensive driver.
You hit a lot of prostitutes though, so it counts.
Oh, yes,
that's right.
No, the best part is punching like the joggers. That's the most fun part of the game. Just people jogging, you run behind them and you just punch them in the back of the head, and then you kick them, and then you get their money.
And it has absolutely no bearing on the game whatsoever.
None at all.
You don't get any score for that.
It just makes me laugh.
Yes. Aren't you supposed to be on a sales call right now?
No,
I'm fine.
That's outstanding.
I had 6 hours of webinars today. I needed a break.
So speaking of punching joggers, let's segue to security.
And by the way, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the IT and the D show.
Right, and apparently, Mark was good enough to tell us that apparently we're missing out on our key marketing and sales point, which is that there is always PBR and Slim Jims in the studio.
Step into a Slim Jim.
I'm just saying, there's a market segment, and it's pretty much all of Southeast Michigan.
So we're hitting on something here.
Exactly.
So you're saying that there's a chance.
You've refined the formula. That's very good of you.
So what did Billy call meat sticks, and that caused a big ruckus.
Meat sticks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because actually it was more like Bob's over there with his meat stick. Bob's got his meat stick in his mouth. Bob's that entire episode.
We really needed that?
Wow,
yeah, we did. I had to wait one drop.
We waited for that to step into a Slim Jim. Nice.
Just in case anyone's wondering, the production value is a cell phone into the mic.
Yeah, that's right.
And my wife, of course, texts me. She goes, "Enough with the Grand Theft Auto talk."
She knows better. Bob,
love you, Bo.
We love you.
All right, so Mark, you're with Duo Security.
Wait. Bo, do you give Bob like an hour thing, like I give my daughter an hour on the iPad, and that you get cut off after an hour?
Bo, I will absolutely hook you up with the device that makes Bob do an hour on
like
the
a shock
treadmill.
treatment.
No, he has to do an hour on the treadmill to get an
sorry,
hour
Mark.
of gaming.
Time to eat your
Yeah,
carrots.
why are we funding this?
Stop talking.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're the only guest, Mark, because I swear to God we'll get to you eventually. Yeah. But no, so Duo Security,
Yeah.
and the first question I have for you is, on your LinkedIn profile it says you're a security evangelist. So
Not a ninja. An
well, no,
evangelist.
I mean evangelist.
Not a rock star.
Well,
no,
no, you picture.
And then I used RSA, and it was good.
There was a second factor.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Are you leaving
For
now?
Duo Security.
He's leaving. Mark's walking out.
This has been a great show, you guys.
Yeah. Wait, take a Slim Jim.
The parting gift. Yeah. Every door is a Slim Jim.
So what is a security evangelist in your mind, and what does Duo Security do, and how does that relate to everything going on?
Yeah, so security evangelist is one of those job titles where you're not sure if it's bullshit or if it's actually going to be interesting. Luckily enough, I knew the guys who started the company, Doug Sung and John Oberheide. So I knew that they had good intentions for me to actually not spend my time there wisely, not wasting my time. Security evangelist, if you're a McAfee user or an Akamai user, is pretty common. They actually have multiple security evangelists, which might sound even more ridiculous. So my job at Duo...
There can be only one.
Yeah.
Chief security analyst.
So my job at Duo, I work across teams. So I'll write blog content. I will talk to the sales teams to make sure that they're actually, kind of talking about Duo in the right manner, giving the right security context, technical details. Because obviously one of the things for security people like myself, I'd been in IT for 12 years. Systems administration, information security, penetration testing, web development, all those things. So collectively, I've heard a lot of salespeople bullshit me.
Bob.
Shocking. I know, Bob. Hold on.
So you sit in a sales call and call BS.
Salespeople do lie, Bob. Now,
No.
I know it's tough, but if you hear enough of that, you want to work for a company that doesn't sound like that. You want to have them and help them give the right message off for your company. And we're a startup. We want to make the right impression. We want to get people to understand what we're doing differently than the competitors. And so my role at Duo is to really make us stand out among the other competitors in the market and understand that Duo is the best offering that you're going to get for two-factor.
So yeah, exactly. When it comes to offerings, I mean, your core is two-factor authentication. So what
new school though? Because when I think of two-factor, the first thing I thought of was the stupid keychains. And you guys are, you're doing it the right way and like with modern technology.
Well, there's 2 points to that.
Or am I lying? Is it because I'm a sales guy?
No.
Well, I mean, RSA was great until the seed server got hacked.
True.
Which is a big part of our product. So, our flagship offering is what we call Duo Push. So, if you have a cell phone, you probably have some sort of push notification that comes to your phone, right?
Yep.
So what we do, we use RSA, oddly enough, the RSA algorithm, not the company itself. RSA has been around for 25 years, right? It's good cryptography, good stuff. Not the company you see now owned by AMC, but the actual cryptography, the smart guys that built it. And what we do, we actually use your cell phone. We store your private key, which is the important part, on your phone. We don't get your private key, which is the difference between us and RSA, where RSA, those tokens you get in the mail that they give out to your help desk team to distribute,
right?
Those have the secret ingredient in the RSA token. When they got compromised in 2011, they sent out 40 million new tokens to their customers.
God.
Oh, my God.
If we got compromised, we would send nothing out to you because you still have all the important details.
Right.
And that's a big difference. We don't have any investment. Our app that we put on your phone is completely free. There's no token to buy. The service, if you're a small business.
So then how do you make money?
Yeah.
The service, if you're a small business.
That's slide 2.
Right.
0 to 10 users. Not servers, not VPNs, not any.
The premium license.
0 to 10 users, completely
You pay for
free.
support.
Okay.
You could have 10,000 servers. If you have 10 users at your company, you're completely free with Duo.
Okay.
We work on a user basis. So over that, at the starting point, before we start throwing in nice sales discounts, $3 per user per month.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same as Red Hat.
No appliance. No tokens.
But take a step back.
Yeah.
So $3 per user per month to do what? And I mean, and I guess that's what I want to make sure we get to is because we have the hardcore IT crowd that listens to us, but we also have the very, very non-hardcore IT crowd that listens to us too. So I mean, why do I as a WordPress user want something from Duo? What does that do for me?
Absolutely. So, the challenge we see in security is passwords. We've all been using them for 40, 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Passwords are passwords. Some people do passwords better than others, but at the end of the day, 2 years ago...
Mine's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go, yeah. We got people like Bob. He does passwords.
Right.
Got the same combination on my luggage.
Right.
LinkedIn, they got hacked a year and a half or so ago.
Yep.
Passwords got dumped. People cracked the password hashes. And now all these passwords with all these email addresses are out on the internet. Think about how many passwords you reuse across all the services you use, right? We, take a statistic, right? 3.5 passwords across like 30 accounts. So one every 10 or so accounts. If an attacker steals your password, they probably have 10 accounts, whether it's your bank account, your email account.
Because the typical user is using the same password for multiple things.
Because it's unrealistic in most cases to have a password per account. Now, we have seen companies like LastPass or KeyPass or some of the other ones, generate unique passwords. That's good. But better than good is you add another factor in, which is what Duo does. So you have your password. You have something like your mobile phone. Now, old school way, like RSA tokens, you had a token on your keychain. How many of you guys had a token at one point in your career?
I had several. Yep.
How many people either A, forgot the token, or B, just didn't want to go get the token in the other room? Or lost it, right?
Yeah.
So you have your cell phone. Your cell phone has a mobile app. Their cell phone, if you lose your cell phone, immediately.
Yep.
If you lose your token, it could be a couple weeks. Yeah. It's like, I'll get to the help desk.
When's the next time I have to VPN in?
No, is that why I had to put my phone number into Xbox Live this weekend to log in because they're doing two-factor now?
Microsoft does. They do two-factor for Xbox.
37 Signals is doing it now for
37
Basecamp.
Signals, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Again, back to GTA 5.
Yeah. Right back to where we started.
Assumed to me.
And so it's good to see though. So
but are those companies being proactive, or are they responding to customer demands, or are they responding to a threat that they're seeing and they're keeping it under wraps, or is it like a combination? So I guess it would be depending on.
Well, Sony got hacked.
Sony gets hacked like every weekend. They have about 200 companies under their umbrella, so that's orders of magnitude. But so Twitter's a good example.
Right.
When the AP got hacked and the AP put up, President Obama got shot and killed.
Right.
There's a bomb at the White House.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that kind of
and when they're tweeting from like the New York Times account or something like that.
That was from the AP.
Well, both of those happen actually. Funny.
Well, yeah, I was going to say right around the same time.
Here's the reality, though. With the leverage we put into online social media these days, the stock market dropped severely.
Oh yeah,
when that
absolutely.
happened, right?
It was just
So Twitter actually added two-factor. They first added it with using text messages. So you log into Twitter, they send you a text message to a phone number.
Right.
The problem is that doesn't scale to a social media team. You have 10 people or 20 people at the AP, and you only have one phone number to log into Twitter. That doesn't work out. So what they've done now is they actually have a mobile app edition, and interestingly enough, if you look at Twitter's mobile app, it looks a lot like Duo Security did the last 3 years.
Really?
And it uses the same RSA public key cryptography we use. We have some blog posts about that, but it's one of those things. 3 or 4 years ago, when Duo really got going, we were revolutionary, and now what you're seeing is all the companies that started doing SMS based or other kind of like really low end two-factor.
Yeah, the out-of-band authentication.
They're starting to move up to the Duo push model, the mobile app model that we've been doing for multiple years, and that's good. We're not like, hey, we're going to sue you for patent infringement. That's not our model. We know that relative to RSA and a lot of other competitors, we have the best technology out there, whether it's security and user experience or otherwise. So back to your question about like WordPress. If you have a WordPress site, the number of people that have passwords to your WordPress site might be 3 or 4 or 5 people.
Right.
The odds that they have a bad password that are going to get brute forced in a couple of days is pretty high. And by adding two-factor,
but why would you want? Unless it was a popular site, why would you want to break into? Because I get the whole.
It's low hanging fruit. I mean, people do it just because they can. Seriously, why climb a mountain? It's because it's there. Seriously,
right.
I mean that's.
I know, like the Russian mafia. I've seen like the cut sheets, like, hey, how much money they're getting per for bank account for this, for checking accounts.
A lot of times it's to cut your teeth to gain access to a larger.
Let me give you some perspective about security. Servers, when someone attacks a server, now if it's like CNN or a big name, that's one thing, but with the number of billions of IP addresses on the internet, attackers can scan the entire internet in hours.
Yep.
So if you can scan the entire internet within hours, find out who's vulnerable to some vulnerability that your international organization found out about.
Yeah, but we have a stateful packet firewall, so we're good.
Yeah. The reality is,
have you muted his mic yet?
Drink.
Whether they want to send spam.
Gotta say it at least once per episode.
They want to host piracy. They want to use you as a denial of service point to attack other sites.
Right.
There are plenty of good reasons to break into your WordPress that no one visits. It's the system you have, the bandwidth you have.
What are you saying?
And if you log into or if you break a password of a person from like a LinkedIn breach, if I can steal your bank account, if I can steal access to your corporate VPN. You work for Cisco. You don't think I want to break into your VPN and get access to all your sales data?
So it's not necessarily breaking into the WordPress site to break into the WordPress site. You're breaking in to gain access to that person's user ID and or password. Password more likely used on other systems.
Yeah, breaking into WordPress or Drupal. Take a CMS.
It doesn't matter what it is. They don't care about that. They want the passwords.
It's the next step.
Yeah.
Hey, remind me next time if I go to the bathroom or at the bar that I don't leave my phone on the table with you around.
Elevating privilege is what an attacker cares about, and whether that privilege is within your server or your personal life, that's what they're after,
and what that server is connected to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If take a university, thousands of faculty at U of M or Eastern Michigan or any of these universities have access to a VPN. That VPN gives access to the entire university in most cases. You break into one password of a 75-year-old emeritus faculty. That's important. That leads to student data, social security numbers, financial data. It's a windfall for attackers, and it takes one set of credentials. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're all home based, and they actually shipped me out a actual router firewall to install at home. Most of the times, you're just clicking a soft VPN client.
Yeah.
This one where I'm hardwired in, and I have to click the VPN client.
Well, good news for you. We actually support Cisco ASA. So
nice.
Yeah.
So I mean, against what is Duo's play then? I mean, for the casual user? Is it worth going out and taking a look at for, hey, I just started my WordPress site. Is there a plugin I want to go take a look at? Is there, and then from my world, I work for a financial services company. Do you guys deal with, FFIEC audits and all that kind of stuff? Is there any kind of compliance stuff that you guys play into?
Oh, absolutely. So CGIS, if you're in the law enforcement space, HIPAA, if you're in the healthcare space, FIC for financial, SOX, whatever, pick your flavor. Of what it comes down to is a lot of regulation ends up coming back to two things. If it's PCI, it actually speaks about two-factor directly in PCI 8.3.
PCI is credit processing for those at home.
Credit, yeah.
I was just going to ask you, Bob, are you asleep yet? Or?
No, I know what this stuff is.
Okay, just want to make sure your eyes weren't glazing over.
You guys don't give me enough credit.
You guys give out the Lexicon.
Actually, I don't give you any credit.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in HIPAA for the healthcare people,
right?
Strong authentication.
Hungry HIPAAs.
Yeah. Which is actually their logo. If you haven't seen that,
it's not Hungry Howies.
It's seriously a hippo. You can't make that part up. But that actually calls out.
If it wasn't, I would have to slap somebody.
Marketing fail, right?
Right.
They actually call out strong authentication, which is a cute way of saying two-factor, basically. In the regulation space, this is going to be increasing with different regulations coming out for more of the Medicaid, Medicare stuff. Only going to be a bigger deal. And the reality is, passwords are going to suck. They have sucked. They will suck. And the reason is we don't enforce strong passwords, and when we do, we use them 100 different places at the same time.
Right. Well, and it's hard because if you're the casual home user, telling somebody that they have to have, a capital letter, a lowercase letter, a special character, a drop of blood, a fictional character from a Disney film, blah 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 blah, in their password, that most people just aren't wired that way to get it.
And the reason is that the why Duo Security is successful and why people love us. And we have fans. We don't just have users. We actually have people that are advocates for our
evangelists
service.
Of the evangelists?
Well, one might say.
Very meta of you,
to be fair, I was a user of Duo Security for 3 years before I became the security evangelist. Okay. So, if you're going to eat your own dog food, that's a pretty good story, right? The reality
is, chef, this is low-grade dog food. Sorry.
If you can install
dog food,
if you can install Angry Birds, you can install our two-factor app, and when you log into a website, you get a little push notification that says accept or deny. And if that's too much security for you or too confusing, I don't know what to say at that point.
Is anyone still playing Angry Birds?
I just got Angry Birds Star Wars.
They've got the Star Wars 2.
No, Star 2. It just came out Thursday. Shut up while we were at an event.
I didn't know.
That's right. I'll poke you in the eye
I was told
again.
I have to do this loudly.
There you go. Yes.
So, and then, all right, so talking about two-factor, and I'm sure we'll wind up bleeding over to the next segment with this, but you are doing a two-factor class with Girl Develop It, some of our favorite people on the planet.
Yeah, episode 2?
Yeah.
Episode 2, Erica Carlson,
They were
Michelle.
in here messing with us heavily on our second episode.
Yes, we love those ladies.
We spend almost as much time talking about the leather and lace as we do about H-Bomb at this point.
I told Erica I was in flip-flops and shorts, and, she cheered loudly. So. Not quite up to their standards. But, yeah, we're actually this Saturday at Duo Security. We're holding a completely free workshop with Girl Develop It. There are a couple spots left, so look up on meetup.com, and there might be a couple spots left to get into the class.
And we'll throw a link out.
Yeah, perfect.
Where are you guys located?
We're at 617 Detroit Street, downtown Ann Arbor.
A squared.
A2, yeah. So right next to Zingerman's, that's usually the
nice.
There you go. Yeah. We got the recognition now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
So we'll be holding a 7-hour completely free workshop.
7 hours.
7 hours. We're talking about everything two-factor. We're talking about Duo. And we're actually going to be giving hands-on workshops about how to integrate Duo Security into a web application.
For you sales guys with insomnia, that would be ideal.
Bob's going to take those 7 hours and play Grand Theft Auto 5. That's what he's going to do.
Can you teach Bob how to secure his Xbox?
I mean, that's kind of what comes back to security evangelism, right? We're taking a Saturday out, interacting with developers in our area, and trying to get them to understand not just how we work, but how two-factor in general works. Because there's a lot of cryptography, there's a lot of nasty, gnarly parts about how security works, and we're going to go over it step by step, give the explanations needed. Every question will be answered, but we'll also show how to leverage our platform to let them use that at their companies or their other places of employment.
On a personal level, I'm amazed I get a phone call probably once every 2 weeks from my bank that says, "Hey, did you make these charges? It's kind of weird." And, and every once in a while it's like, "No, I didn't make it. Cancel my card." But I'm amazed, like the credit card industry, with as much
that
fraud.
German porn site. No, that was
Boozen.org, isn't you? That was a bad word.
Really?
For
somebody else used another card of mine at Bazooki?
Wait, he threw out that URL too fast.
but what I'm saying is,
what was it? B-O-O-Z.
For as much fraud that's in the banking industry, you'd be amazed that they're not doing something in that.
There are companies that do that. So Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Citibank actually all have two-factor. Now, they don't have two-factor the way we have.
I'm talking when you swipe at a gas station.
I was going to say, how can you have two-factor authentication when you're swiping your card at a gas station? I don't understand.
So that's where debit cards come in, right? 1967, the guy that created the ATM created two-factor authentication effectively in the modern form. PIN plus debit card yields two-factor. What you have.
Something you have versus something you know.
So, all right, okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah. So the tricky part is, and what we look at in security is bypassing strong authentication. So when you can swipe your credit card as a credit card, not a debit card, you've completely bypassed what that guy in 1967 figured out was a good idea.
Right, because you don't have to sign for anything under $25 anymore, and so it's just you go in and you make the $24.99 purchase.
And signatures, there are entire websites dedicated to people like drawing houses for their signature and showing a rowboat. And
what was that thing back in the mid '90s where the Easy Pass where you swipe your credit card? Is that the near field communication?
RFID type.
Yeah, that was I think it was on mobile gas stations.
Aren't those all gone? I haven't seen that.
That was
in a
like
while.
a fad, wasn't it?
They pushed it and it's gone.
I mean, Speedway still has them, and some people do, but yeah,
that's what we're talking about. 7-Eleven have it.
Doesn't that bypass the whole something you have, something you know?
There are some pretty impressive people.
Well, it's amazing what people will give up for the sake of convenience.
Right.
They
just don't understand
their iPhones.
Yeah, so we actually had a really good conversation about the whole new iPhone thing.
I don't see how this is wrong.
We're absolutely going to deep dive into this.
This is going to deep dive into
this. But we are up against a break, so let's go ahead and we're going to take our little music break.
I can't wait for this.
And so
I drone.
We'll be right back.
See you guys in the emergency room, huh?
Hello, pretty lady. Tell me something. What's a beautiful broad like you doing with a malacca like this, huh?
It's purely sexual.
No,
She's into malakas, Dino.
she's into malacas. Do you believe that? You can say that again.
Happen in the movie. Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed that.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
When will...
And we're back.
Classic Dave.
Thank Classic Dave. He's outside chatting,
smoking,
talking to somebody about helping them find a job. And why the hell they weren't there Thursday night?
Oh, did you forget what you were doing tonight? For crying out loud! This is like the 7th time this has happened. You're fired.
This is
the IT and the D show. Welcome back.
I hate you all.
Yes, I'm going to need more Slim Jims and PBR for this whole
you probably will.
show you call a podcast.
If you want to make
we need to get this guy back next week.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah, the selling points are PBR and Slim Jims, and not production value and professionalism. Where the hell did you think you were coming?
This is amateur hour with a professional studio.
If you want to make fun of Dave, send him a tweet at IT and the D, Facebook at IT and the D.
That's right. Everything IT and the D.
And we have a phone number that we haven't given out yet.
What's the phone number?
Which is...
Well, you did the whole Kool-Aid Man today on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
What's the
It is 313-462-0107.
To read it faster.
I know,
that number again is 976.
It's 8675309.
Leave a voicemail.
No, it's...
that number still works, right? 867.
Someone has that number, yeah.
Oh,
they set up some sort of business, right? It was it was like a joke for a while.
Oh yeah, no, there are people that have actually auctioned off that phone number when they've gotten it before.
Yeah. Anyway,
but no, so it is 313-462-0107.
Was there a niner in there?
So if you have any questions about
Tyler 87100.
security, or if you want to ask Bob about cheat codes to Grand Theft Auto 5, anything else along those lines.
RB, B, RT.
Up, down, up, down, left, right,
down, left, right.
Right.
Hit the jogger.
So at the bar, we're at 3rd Street, and Mark is showing off his brand new deluxe super
iPhone 5S.
iPhone 5S. But then he's got the thumbprint thing on the phone, and I go, wait a minute, you're a security guy and you're uploading your thumbprint to something the NSA has access to, and he's trying to argue with me that
Apple doesn't share.
Wait, what did you say?
Was NSA.
No,
are you kidding me?
It's for convenience. And I said, yeah, that's how democracy dies, with thunderous applause. And
nice quote
with
there,
a
Star Wars
like
boy.
that. Thank you.
I was going to go more.
All 3 people in our audience got that one.
I was going to go with not a bang but a whimper.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. More novelist.
All right.
I will not debate this in committee.
I don't care if they have a GPS at me, as long as I get a pretty map to show me where I'm going. You can follow me anywhere.
That drives me into the bay. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
How many references did we just drop there? I counted 5. Anyways.
No, so in the world of security, you're uploading your thumbprint.
Well, you're storing your thumbprint.
You're not uploading anywhere. It's stored within the phone.
How do you know?
We have these things called networks. At Cisco Systems, I would hope you know what a network is.
That's right.
He's a sales guy, so no.
If he has airplane mode on, he's fine. Just keep it on all the time.
You're going to zap the radars.
Across the streams? What?
It's one of those things Apple's been working on since 2008. There's patents since 2008. 5 years later, we have virtual processors now. We have computing power beyond, space missions in the 70s on a phone.
So is this the George Lucas rationalization of this is the phone we always wanted to make, but we never could, but now the technology's here, so we're going to go back and remake it?
I'm pretty sure, based on George Lucas's money, he could have owned this like 10 years ago anyways.
True, yeah.
No, but so for convenience, when people lose...
Because it takes so much time to swipe your thumb across the bottom of the screen.
No, but you can find your phone on iCloud, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So if you lose
your phone on Google.com.
Right, but if you lose your phone... what's the point of having the thumbprint? It makes no sense to me other than going, look what I can do at Starbucks.
The thumbprint is all about convenience. So instead of typing your 4-digit or 8-digit PIN in, you can put your thumbprint on it. So what happens if you put your thumbprint in 5 times wrong? It goes back to the PIN. It's not a security feature, it's a convenience feature. It's made for the people that have the phone, that use the phone, to use their phone easier. It's not made for an attacker to have a harder time necessarily.
I translate that as they could do it just because they can.
Right. Look at me.
Yeah, we just did the is iPhone or Touch ID hacked yet.com.
Right.
I was the 6th name on that list. I gave $100 today because yes, they did hack it. It was the Chaos Computer Club in Germany. They've been hacking biometrics for I don't know, a dozen years now.
Ever since Demolition Man came out.
Yeah, right. Greasy shells.
They sawed off some guy's hand and put it up against the screen.
There's a reason all of us bid like $100 or $50. We knew it was going to get hacked.
Right. It was only a matter of time.
It was a matter of days or weeks. And they
it's
put
not
time
if
in.
I lose, it's when I lose. How much do I want to get rid of?
And it's like a monetary high five, right? We do security for a living. We sell exploits. We sell vulnerabilities to governments. We do all kinds of crazy things. And when people in our industry do the same thing, we like to say, "Hey, good job, way to be first." And so they got like $15K for their trouble for a couple days' work, and that's pretty cool.
What's amazing to me though is Apple sold over 9 million of these phones in 72 hours.
Yeah.
Well, there was stories. I was talking to some colleagues in New York, and the guy says everyone's in line in Manhattan,
right?
And he goes, and you could take a 2-hour train to like rural Connecticut and get it, instead of waiting
we're at the bar, and I
days.
asked my like, wait, is that a 5S? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, how'd you get that already? He's like, I drove to a store and bought it, and I walked right in and walked out 5 minutes later. I'm like, that's the story. He's like, yeah, that's the story.
I took the closest Verizon store in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is a college town, which has plenty of computer science students,
and
I
plenty
got
of iPhone geeks.
I got an iPhone in 20 minutes.
I actually used
and these
the
people
Verizon
are camping
app.
out for like days to get this phone.
Why, you know, how messed up is society when you just so you can brag that you were first, you sleep for 3 days in a
well,
parking
like, have
lot.
you not read internet forums?
I can have,
I'm sorry,
I can has iPhone.
How
I mean,
many
that's what it
midnight
is.
showings have we been to?
Well, wait, but wait, yeah, exactly. Yeah, weren't you and I at the midnight showing of episode 2 back in?
But that was pre-Facebook. We didn't brag about it. Now we would, but back then we wouldn't.
Now you just
Twitter,
retroactively brag in a
But
blog
if Twitter
post,
existed back then, we would have bragged that we were at midnight showing of
Look
episode
at
2.
me.
And look at me. I'm standing next to a stormtrooper at the Star South Field.
No, but is that the whole thing? It's just
I just outed you, by the way.
Look at me.
It is for now, and the reality is that the technology, the security part that people actually should care about is this whole like virtual processor chip thingy that Apple did, Microsoft, Freudian.
Thingy, is that the technical term?
Yeah,
thingy?
thingy.
Right.
Yeah. Secure Envoy, if you want to use their marketing lingo.
You hook up to the dongle.
It's one of those things. If you can get the fingerprint out of this Secure Envoy, there's a lot of air quotes going on, by the way.
Secure Envoy.
Secure Envoy.
Is that a GMC product?
Since Smokey
the Buick Envoy wasn't there yet.
They'll have a trademark suit next week.
Right. We're gonna get sued
if you
again.
If you can get that out of the iPhone directly, that's a big deal because now you're stealing data of someone's fingerprint. But until then, this whole like fingerprint, fake fingerprint.
But it's not the fingerprint. It's actually the 7 or 9 points of the print. They're not actually taking a picture of your print. They're looking at the data points, not to get geeked out here. Or anything,
we've all seen CSI.
Yeah.
Because that's real. Yeah,
Isn't he worried about someone cutting his thumb off though, so they can use his Twitter?
Actually, it's more you passed out in front of Grand Theft Auto and Mark walking up to you and using your thumb.
Didn't we cover that your worst case scenario was you being passed out on your couch and your daughter using your passed out hand to unlock your phone?
I mean,
the same reason why dual security succeeds is because the threats that you and I and all of us face every day.
Look at the intro and the segue.
Segue that in.
Yeah.
We don't face the random like Chinese hacker that comes over to our country and steals my phone at the same time they steal my password.
Bob's never letting another Asian in his house again.
What you should be
that'll be a first.
What Bob should be very fearful about is his X-year-old child that says I want to buy this app on iTunes. Waits for him to get passed out drunk and then scans his fingerprint.
Isn't that why you and I turned off all in-app purchases on our daughter's iPad?
Exactly. I have to input like a 12-key password because my daughter's like, she got a $30 gift card for iTunes and she wanted to buy Minecraft. I go, there's no way I'm spending $7 when you got it on your stupid Xbox and everything.
But here, play GTA 5 and see how many prostitutes you can kill.
Right, exactly. But I said, all right, fine. But in order, but that's fun though.
Priorities.
Those blocks are dangerous, but those prostitutes.
No, but I got it set up if she wants to download something.
Not now, honey. I have to go punch a jogger.
Right. I have to put in
do your homework first.
I have to put in a password, so she, basically hands it to me and says, "Hey, can I download this app?" I go, "Yeah."
Yeah, my daughter doesn't even see that option on our iPad because I have it completely turned off and disabled. Yeah.
So, and then
5 seconds of dead air.
We'll see. Eventually, Apple will probably make it so you can say, "I want my PIN plus my fingerprint," and then it'll unlock the phone. Right now, it's made to make things easier, not more secure.
Well, and I mean, from the the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory standpoint, because I those are my people.
Your people,
dude.
The lines are lighting up.
No, way back in the day, I used to deal with the conspiracy theory forum on CompuServe. Let's just go ahead and date my geekness.
I love CompuServe.
Oh yeah,
I was a member of that before Prodigy.
Oh yeah, so the MUFON people, the Mutual UFO Network.
Yeah.
Those are some of the most hardcore conspiracy, whacked out theory people you will ever meet in your life. So I every now and then I could shift into their gear and run with that.
Deep dive in for like a day and a half. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, that's right. Strap on the helmet, get it a little tight. We're gonna go for a bumpy ride.
Watch X-Files for like a week and a half.
Right. So now you have your thumb. You have your finger because it's not just your thumbprint. You do all 10 prints, right?
You can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 10, whatever you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
so now you have your prints in a device.
Let me point something out though.
So now you have your prints attached to a device that has GPS in it, which in theory belongs to a company that has shared data with the NSA. So how far
All
away?
companies share data with the NSA.
So how far away are we from? Hey, I unlocked my phone and I just got busted on an old warrant.
Let me give you.
I mean, seriously,
and I happen to be standing in front of a questionable establishment.
Right. Well, dear Sheriff's Department, the person you're looking for is there.
Two pieces of thought leadership here for you guys.
That's the politically correct way of saying it. Here's how I'm about to tell you how dumb you are, Dave.
Thought leadership.
That's what's funny. I say what you just said at the bar, and I'm the idiot. You say it, and it's enlightening. I love how this works.
No, he's just being nicer when he responds to me.
I want to give you the answer
because we're on the air now. That's why.
Right. Let me give you the answer in the nicest way possible. So people have done their cat's paw prints.
Yes.
Their dog paw prints.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
nipples.
heard this. Yes.
And one person did their penis.
I wanted to meet the guy that did the nipples on the iPhone.
How do you know it's a guy?
Even better.
And all of those worked.
So you got to.
Are you kidding me?
So you don't
wait a minute. Wait.
You don't have to use your fingerprint. You can use any piece of your body that you're so inclined to use on a daily basis.
No, come on.
I'm dead serious.
Come on.
Excuse me while I unzip. I've got to use my schwanz to unlock my iPhone.
Well, if you work from home, Dave, I don't see what the problem is.
Underpants Fridays.
So the reality is it's getting points of data from something. If you use your fingerprint, you can use your elbow, you can use the crease of your armpit.
Now the NSA knows how long your wiener is.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
They already know, Bob.
Oh, damn it.
So
that escalated quickly.
If you want to give a fingerprint, you can. If you don't, you have options.
It's not convenient, though. You got to.
But what happens?
So you use your PIN number.
That's what I do now.
There you go. It's convenience, not security.
It takes me 3 seconds. Not even. It takes me like
as a security guard. Security guy is Apple the only one using this technology in some sort of mobile device, or is there other applications like what? Apple's not the first.
You guys remember Compaq?
Oh God!
Yeah.
You remember
I remember the laptops.
iPad?
Yeah, that's right. The iPad. So the technology itself is not new, but what Apple
they had their USB thumb scanner.
But what Apple did is they just completely refined it and made the resolutions a lot higher.
Apple used 2013
So what Apple did is what Apple always does,
is
which
refined it.
Take 2 to 10-year-old technology and then market the crap out of it.
And then
as
say
theirs.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I remember when the video iPod came out, and they said everyone was talking about how amazing it is. I said, I've been using those things like I forget what device
the
it
Arcos.
is. Yeah, the Arcos.
Yeah,
I had that like 2.5 years before this device, and then Mike Wendland's writing about this is awesome. Apple came up with. I go, no, he didn't. Like, they're just remarketing it as theirs. Classic Apple.
And that's true. I mean, they did a bunch of hand waving about subdermal fingerprints and all this other. Based on the fact,
that's just marketing speak, right?
It is. Based on the fact that
they're a great marketing company.
Oh, absolutely, they are. Absolutely
someone recreated a high def piece of your thumbprint and was able to use that in a clever way, right? That it's clever, and that's no doubt about that. But the reality is, which of you in the room at this point is going to have someone care about you enough to go to the bar, steal your beer bottle if you drink it, go home, high-res scan it, make an imprint of it.
That's the social aspect of it.
Right. Well,
but how long does it take me to type 1, 2, 3, 4 into my phone?
Bo's taking notes right now.
Exactly.
Just, Bob's wife is absolutely writing this down.
Well, actually, Bob's password is 5555. I watched him type it in a couple
That's fine.
times.
And
I had to put something in.
I think that's actually the default that came with your phone.
No, I had to put something in because we got the corporate email.
Okay.
The best part about the first video where they showed this fake thumbprint is to get into it the first time they typed 0000.
Right.
And it's like that's exactly the problem.
That's outstanding.
Like you're going to have the thumbprint, but if you know the PIN, the thumbprint doesn't matter. You can use the PIN at any time.
Well, that's why
everyone always looks at other people's phones and says, "Oh, you're 4290."
But that's why this was a joke back in 1984 when Spaceballs came out. My PIN is 1234.
Yeah,
exactly.
5,
I mean, that's why this is a joke because it's true.
Someone remind me to change the password of my luggage.
For the everyday user, a thumbprint is way more convenient than typing a PIN. I have a lot of 7s in my old PIN number that I used to use a lot. How many times with people on the radio that had to type 7 hit the fucking emergency button?
Oh God, yeah.
Right? You hit emergency every 5 seconds on that.
So I mean, dumb thing, talking about Angry Birds. So I'm sitting here. My new crack addiction is Angry Birds Star Wars 2. And there's all this stuff that goes on where you have to the
lightsabers.
Well, you have to target stuff, and I keep hitting the damn home button on the phone and exiting the game.
Yep.
Bad UI. How do you let that happen?
He's the guy that with the first, like he's like in your people world.
My people world. What?
He's the guy with the iPhone 1.
People, you're saying my people world because I own an iPhone. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're not just you're an evangelist. You're a slappy for you're a fruit product slappy. Oh, absolutely.
When have I ever said you must buy an iPhone? When have I ever said
Mike.
that?
No, Mike's no.
I have
no magic. Mike's the Pope. He's a bishop.
For as long as I've known you, I've got to defend this. For as long as I've known you, I've never once said you must buy an Apple product.
No, you never argue, but you always. But you're amazingly brand loyal.
But you defend yourself when you're mocked. You bastard.
When's the last time you bought an iPhone? Are you ever going to switch?
No.
Well, then you're brand loyal to Google. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I was telling you
the eye roll, dude. Whatever.
I will gladly.
No, if this goes away, I'll go BlackBerry. I don't care.
Gladly tell you that you should be buying an iPhone, and I can use statistics. I know numbers. We have numbers. So one of the projects that Duo Security did was called X-Ray.io. Where it was
I'm sorry, X-rated what?
X-rated what.com? What?
X-ray.io. And it would inspect your Android phone.
We hear what we want to hear.
For vulnerabilities. And it would report back what vulnerabilities your phone had. And we found out, and remember, this is a biased statistics set where only tech geeks are going to download an app to get security statistics about their phone.
Right.
We found over 50%. 1 out of every 2 people had a vulnerability in their Android phone out of a community of security people.
Because open always wins.
Awesome.
Dave.
I'd say I'm buying an iPhone now.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Put you over the top.
He convinced
you.
Get
right out of here.
That's right, yeah. You're going to stay in the line at the Ann Arbor iPhone store?
72% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
Right.
Yeah,
no, but exactly. I mean, that's one of those things where, I was actually having...
Says Abraham Lincoln.
Right. I was having this conversation today talking about, the approval process to get apps into the Play Store versus the Apple Store.
Oh.
And it's, there is no approval process to get into the Play Store, which can be a problem.
So, fun story.
Low-hanging fruit.
Right. Our CTO, John Oberheide, was one of the first people to put a Trojan into the Play Store.
Nice.
It was a Twilight app. So the Twilight movie series.
Keying on the keyword there.
He put a dumb little logo of Twilight in it and said Twilight preview or trailer. He had 20,000 downloads in a day. And all it did was you open it up and said this was a security exercise. Here are all the permissions I had on your app. And that was
Are you
it.
kidding me?
Nope. Google, for their credit, it makes it easy for people to be developers. I'm an Apple developer.
Right.
It's a pain in the butt to do.
Oh, absolutely.
But they have
by design.
huge hurdles to jump over.
Well, the problem, one of the problems I had is when you download stupid apps. I went through a soundboard thing where I wanted to for the show, and I was goofing around. I downloaded
a million and one fart apps,
and then I
right?
get absolutely. And then I get all the push apps that come after it. Because I remember the guy that owns a Diner Miles. I'm having breakfast, and he's got this push app. He goes, "How do you get this off my phone?" And I Googled it on mine. I said, "Oh, you downloaded some Bible app or whatever." Because he was reading it, And I said, "Just delete that." He goes, "Oh my God, why? How does that even happen?" I go, "You'd be amazed."
Because nothing good comes from reading the Bible. That's what the story is.
That too.
And we lost Kansas again. We lost Kansas,
and there goes Kansas. Right. Outstanding.
If you know the story, we had all 48 states, and we were missing Idaho and Kansas. And his joke is that because we talked about evolution in the first one, so that's why Kansas.
Fun fact: Idaho actually has one of the best tech security labs in the U.S.
Why is that a fun fact?
Because Idaho doesn't listen to your show. That's depressing.
Nice. Hey, we actually have. Oh, I think I actually know who this caller is.
We have a caller.
We do. We have a caller.
Hello. Who are you?
Hi, this is Christy Rowe from New Horizons. How are you?
Great. How are you? Who couldn't be bothered to make it on our show because she had bowling.
How'd your bowling go?
I actually ended up with a 137 average for the night, so pretty good.
That is the worst excuse for ever missing anything that we've ever planned.
Clearly, your priorities are way off.
It's been scheduled for a month to come on the show. It's I can't. Why can't Christy go? She's bowling.
What?
She lives in Niagara Falls.
My apologies.
Well, at least you called.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Do we want to announce this now, or do we want to go ahead and have her call back in the fourth segment?
Do it now.
How much time do we have? We have a few minutes.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
We have a few minutes.
Do it now.
Yeah, let's do it now.
Absolutely. All right, so the reason why we were going to have Christy, and New Horizons on the show tonight is one of the things they did at our Pink Slip Party
Which
event
is
last
insanely
Thursday.
cool, by the way. I have to throw that out.
Yeah, thank you very much for New Horizons.
Gave away a training class valued at, what was it, $3,000?
Up to 3,000, yeah.
Yep. At New Horizons Training Centers. And Christy, do you have the name handy, or do you need me to read it off?
I won, right?
Why don't you read it off and do the honors, Dave?
Okay. So the winner that I pulled that night was James Anderson from Royal Oak. So, James, if you're out there, congratulations. Going to go ahead and drop you a note just to make sure that you get it.
You got
notified.
his email address, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Perfect.
And
insanely cool.
Yeah, it was very cool, Christy. Thanks. Really glad that you guys participated, and it was a very, very cool thing that you guys did, donating that out there.
Well, we were very happy to do it. We're very excited to still be working with you guys after so long. I think it's been about 4 years now since the first Pink Slip Party, so we've been very honored to be able to participate.
Even though you got stuck in the back corner at St. Andrews, I hope you still had a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure you had a lot of traffic to your table.
Oh, it was right next to the bar.
Yeah, they're right next to the bar.
Right next to the bar, yeah. It's actually a good spot.
Right.
All right, so, anything you want to throw out before we cut you loose?
Just a couple things real fast. We still do deal with a lot of different grants. I know the state of Michigan has had some grants in the past through workforce investment. Those grants are set to supposedly come out in the next few months again, so please watch out for that. We also are VA approved now, so for the veterans listening, we do accept the GI Bill post 9/11. For the guys who are getting their VRAP, your last deadline date to enroll is October 1st through the VA, so make sure you guys do that. And then just for the recruiters, I know I talked to a lot of you at the Pink Slip parties, but understand that we do have great candidates, great certified candidates that are able to be placed right away. And we don't charge any referral fees or anything. So if you're looking for great candidates, please give me a call at work. We've got a slew of IT guys from entry level all the way up that are looking for work right now, and I'd love to be able to connect you.
Very cool, and we'll make sure, actually, if you want, go ahead and drop me an email. I'll make sure I throw all those, all that information in the blast that we put out tomorrow with the
As
show.
I say, we'll get all that into the show notes, absolutely.
So if anybody wants to talk, if everybody wants to get a hold of you, if they need training, how do they get a hold of you, Chrissy?
Any training at all. My work number is 734-853-2077. I've been a senior consultant with New Horizons for almost 10 years. I've been in IT myself for 18. So, we can definitely talk shop. I do handle the Livonia location and the Troy locations of New Horizons. Those are 2 locations in Metro Detroit. We not only have instructor-led training, but we also have online live training, which basically means you can connect in virtually from anywhere you are to any live classes that we run. And we run almost 2,000 classes per day within our network.
Wow.
So please just drop me a line. We'd be more than happy to help.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and throw that information out there, and, make sure you say hi to your hubby for us.
I will. He's still at the bowling alley finishing up.
Very cool.
Awesome.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Christy. We got all this information out there tomorrow morning.
Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks again for last Thursday. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again. Take care.
All right. And again, James Anderson from Royal Oak, if you're out there, you're the guy that won the class, so we hope to hear from you. We're going to drop you a note as well.
And if anyone ever cancels using the bowling as an excuse, we're going to have a talk.
Yeah, we're going to give Christy this one-time pass, and that's it.
Right. I was golfing. There was
this one time at band camp.
There's one time at bowling camp.
At brand
That's
camp.
the break.
IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain. And an athlete.
And a basket case. A princess.
And a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
Are you okay?
I think so. Boy, who knows what else is in this swamp?
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Not now! now. Okay.
Still my favorite drop. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, not now.
This is the IT and the D Show, presented by DetroitNet.org. We're live, Raw Radio X, Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown, Detroit, Michigan. We got Mark here from Duo Security. We've been talking about
what are you, Captain James C. Kirk?
Apple stuff. Absolutely.
We must get
who
past the Klingons. I don't understand what's going on right now.
Will you mute
because
him?
my name is
Can
Bob.
you mute
Well,
Jeff?
should I run out and get Karen to slap on green body paint for you? Is that gonna
I don't understand why my voice sounds like this.
I don't understand why.
Welcome
I'm
to
constipated.
Welcome to the fourth segment of our podcast.
And that's when Bob stopped talking. Excellent. So, I do want to make sure we touch on, again, just to remind everybody, we have our next event, October 17th, Blackfin, Royal Oak, Back Room. It is not one of our Pink Slip Party events, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't show up. Like we always tell people, I mean, our group, or the core is still all about networking.
Jeff, don't you have a website to decide?
And there comes the knife. There we go.
The website is designed. We're just waiting on some logos.
Nice. And so, it's all about networking. People still find jobs. In fact, probably more people at this point have found jobs at our smaller events than have at our big ones.
A lot less work.
Well, I mean,
we just show up at that point.
Exactly. It's low maintenance, and it is what it is. So we kind of left things off, just rambling and babbling about security and all that fun, happy hoo-ha.
Is that what we called it?
Fun, happy hoo-ha, yeah. So, Mark, I guess, so again, the girl development thing that you're doing on Saturday. So, that's out of the Duo offices. It's 7 hours. Who's the target demographic that should be thinking about coming to that?
So, Girl Develop It itself caters obviously to women in IT or want to be in IT for that matter. So we definitely have a high contrast of female to male developers going to the event. We have, I think, 5 or 6 spots left. So whether you're male, female, getting into security, getting into development, should be a pretty good overall course for you guys. Again, it's free, so you're not going to lose anything if you come to it.
What do you walk out of there with? Just a general kind of knowledge base, or can you walk out of there with anything? Or
so we'll be doing, partially about just history of two-factor, what it is, how it works, what technologies matter, what standards matter, all that kind of basic, ground level stuff. We'll also have kind of an overview about Duo Security, what we do, how we do things differently. We're going to go over actually setting up a Duo Security account. We'll get you enrolled. We'll set up your phone for a mobile app, all the good stuff that we do. And then we'll actually use our Web SDK and our REST API, so all the tech people on the call understand what that is. And you guys will actually understand how to do, in a workshop format, how to integrate your applications with Duo Security. So if your company or your organization in general is looking to add two-factor, we're going to teach you how to do that in the 7-hour course, and we'll give you the understanding of how two-factor works and all the subtleties of that. So you can go to your boss or you go to your team lead and say, listen, I've had a class on this. I understand these technologies now, and this is what we should go with. And hopefully that's Duo.
Okay.
Very cool.
And just from taking a step back, and you've been in security for a long time, and we do. We get a lot of folks that listen to our show that aren't necessarily hardcore geeks. So what does the casual? I'm at home. I went out and I know I need a wire. I bought a wireless router and I set it up.
Now.
Right. Or hell, Comcast. Shoots out routers now. Their cable modems have wireless technology built into them. So from a typical end user, I'm just a guy sitting at home. What should I be concerned about from a security standpoint?
You should be concerned about...
And I know that's a hugely open-ended question.
No, because the old saying is...
And we just lost half our audience.
No, the old saying is security is always based on your level of paranoia. Like, you always... I'll let you pick up, but it's kind of like securing your house, right? Some people have a lock on the front door. Some people have a dog. Some people have video cameras. Some people have a gun. How far do you take it?
Everything in security comes down to risk versus convenience, right? And we talked about the iPhone and the touch and all that stuff.
Right.
What it comes down to is if you have a website or a server or some other part of your livelihood or your personal livelihood on the internet, having a password to protect that probably isn't enough. We've seen a lot of high-profile companies get hacked. When they get hacked, your passwords get shot on the internet, dumped to all these other people that want to do bad things to your accounts.
Right.
And the only thing that stands in the way of your password and your account at that point is two-factor. So unless your random person from arbitrary company across the seas captures your password from one of these hacks and your phone, which is obviously pretty unlikely, it's one of those things that you're adding a level of work for an attacker to break into your account. The important thing to think about whenever you think about attackers is they're going to go for the low-hanging fruit, which I think Jeff brought up earlier. They have, take for example, the LinkedIn breach. 40% of all those password hashes got cracked in 2 days.
Well, yeah, because they're very, very, very weak salt. That's why.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, password, whatever the case is. They're going to go after those 40% of LinkedIn. 40% of LinkedIn is millions.
That's a huge
millions of people. So why are they going to waste time for 5 months or a year or 5 years on your password? Right. So you have like the low hanging fruit, which is the password. Let's say they did break into your account. Your company is smart enough to use 2-factor, whether it's us or someone else. Like that's kind of a moot point. The fact that if they didn't steal your cell phone or your hardware token or something else, they're not going to get in your account no matter what password they steal from you off LinkedIn. And that's the important part.
Or if you're Anthony Weiner in your Twitter account, that's
Well, if you want to show your apps to some
Did you just say Weiner on the radio, Dave?
Yeah. It's proper name.
Never.
Hey, let me capital W. Capital W.
Hey, let me geek out on you for
your wiener is never referred to with a capital W.
That's what you say.
Let me geek out here for a question. Let me ask you a technical question for passwords specifically. Yeah, okay, Bob, just go to sleep. So they always say when you're choosing a password, don't choose a password like capital X, lowercase k, exclamation point, ZX, 4X. Design it for computers. I've actually heard people say, create a password that's like a sentence, like "This is my password," or "I used to vacation at Hilton Head," and actually have that. No, not the first letter of each word, but the actual sentence itself. So the whole password is a sentence, and combined, it's like 15 characters or 17 characters long.
I thought it was better to do gibberish. Why do you want? I thought because not having words, period, was the best.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking him.
So,
have you heard both ways?
Security evangelist.
Yeah. So at the end of the day,
so what you want?
Because it's a combination of words that's not necessarily known by someone else. I mean, you've correct me if I'm wrong, but
you've got two things to think
about.
Every
little good boy wants fudge. Is that
that's right? Yeah, exactly.
That's Bob's password, by the way.
My very educated mother just served us. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
You have two things to think about. You have how the attacker is going to break a password, and how you as a person is going to make a password. So
I think that was the point of the question. Exactly.
So if an attacker is using a dictionary, literally like every dictionary word in the dictionary that we all use every day, if your password is one of those words, they're going to break into it almost immediately.
Not if it's a sentence, though.
Well, exactly. So what you're doing is you're actually adding multiple words together, though.
Right.
And length. And this is going to sound like a joke, but length
matters.
Size matters
is important.
You can't get it past this crowd. I know.
So if you take lowercase,
who should be here for this talk? Erica, actually.
That's right. Yeah.
I won't be able.
Ladies, does length matter? Call in right now.
I won't be able to look her in the eyes tomorrow. If you take lowercase and uppercase, A through Z. What do you have? You have 52 characters, right?
Right.
If you add 0 through 9, you have 62 characters.
Right.
If you add all the special characters, you add another 15 characters.
Right.
It's all about exponentiation. So if you have
what?
Yeah, what are the whole possible combinations?
Yeah, exactly.
But
if you have 4 characters to the exponent
that's
of
a real world. Yeah,
80.
exponentiate. It's a real world.
So if my password was,
it's all about math, Bob. I'm sorry, we're going to lose you here.
So if my password was, I used to vacation at Hilton Head.
He'll be using that in a sales call tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, no, that's my point. There's so many words in that with an exclamation
point.
If I say exponentiate
in a sales call,
I'm not going to lie. I don't think your password will ever be cracked in the time you're alive.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you. The whole point is make it memorable, right?
And that's the difference between a password and a passphrase.
Passphrase, yeah.
And you'll hear that more commonly in guidance now as passphrase.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of systems like WordPress specifically won't accept a password past
longer than 30 characters.
Longer than 30 characters, right? So there's an issue there. Like a lot of systems are designed to a fault.
So let's take a bank. Let's take bank/credit card.
PNC is terrible with this.
American Express. You can do 8 characters. A through Z, 0 through 9.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. It's terrible.
And it's one of those things that what happens...
There's no special characters at Cisco, you know that? When I did my NT password, the password...
Sorry, your NT password?
What? The login. What? That's what I call. I've never not called it that.
Whatever.
Is the main login to the network.
Stop talking.
Good Jesus Christ. If you're a Cisco security engineer, you should stop listening right now.
Or more to the point, you should be calling Bob in the morning and demanding to go on every sales call he goes on.
I swear the fourth segment of this show is the best.
See, I'm getting ganged up on now. Next 2 sales guys next week, and then you two, we're going to,
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Bring in sales guys.
yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah, let's bring it.
Bring them on.
Bring it. The next time you
Neither one of you two will be working if it wasn't for sales guys.
Let me give you
I'd be sitting in an empty data center.
You'd have
going,
nothing to sell if it wasn't for us.
That's right, yeah. This is like a Dilbert cartoon nightmare.
Let me give you the 15-second spiel. Your password, your employees' passwords, your customer passwords are going to be terrible.
Always.
They're
absolutely always.
However, they also...
Because they're usually like August 1.
They
September
also
2.
have a cell phone, I almost guarantee you.
Yep.
Whether it's a smartphone or a feature phone. If they can accept SMS, or better yet, if things accept push authentication like we have,
right,
they can do two-factor. If you can accept a phone call on your landline, you can do two-factor. So what the big thing that Duo Security does for you is we let you pick if you have a phone number, SMS, tokens, push authentication. You can use any of those to do two-factor.
See, now that was the thing. Now answer me this. I have an old Yahoo mail account simply for fantasy football. I've used the same one for with the same group of guys.
How's your team doing tonight?
Awful.
Mine's doing great. Thanks for asking.
But they keep asking me for my phone number, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting for a stupid shill email that I have to put my phone number in.
Mails.
Yeah,
it's threat assessment though. Like if you lose your fantasy football, do you care?
Care less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have bank accounts, right? So one of the things Duo Security did this year was we actually did a partnership with a company called CSI. And so all the small banks, credit unions that some of us might use or internationally or whatever, we actually partner with them. So their platform, if you have a small business or a small banking company or a credit union, we're actually providing two-factor for them on their platform.
Cool.
So some of your big banks might not actually have two-factor, but some of your small banks might.
Well, and just from so taking it up, taking it outside of like the casual home user realm. So I look at this from, like my perspective, so when you say, on average $3 a user, who's a user?
Anyone that logs into your service.
So basically, so I've got 2 million users sitting in my LDAP server. That's 2 million.
We will take that contract.
And I get their sales discounts and all that other fun happy hoo.
Yeah, and I'm a bad sales guy.
Yeah.
That's because we invite guests in to let them sit here and talk. We don't care about what you do with Cisco, Bob.
Right.
But again, Bob, we support
what I was talking about. You missed that one completely.
We support your ASA, so this is really an opportunity for you too to protect your users.
Earlier,
cloud.
And we are based in the cloud, so this is all coming back to us. So yeah,
it is.
What is the cloud? Can we talk about that?
It's mainframe 2.0. That's all the cloud.
That's usually the fourth or fifth slide on any IT presentation.
We've got a dissenting view. Watch out.
And it destroys me because it used to be back in the day. Every good internet diagram had a cloud,
right? Exactly.
And it was
there's an arrow going in and an arrow coming out.
You don't ask what happens in the cloud.
It's the magic behind the curtain,
right? The magic elves happen in the cloud.
Right.
And off you
Do you
go.
want to know the important part about this whole thing about cloud computing?
Not really.
We've changed the perimeter of security. So before, if you had a network at your company, you'd put your firewall, you put your intrusion detection system, you put your VPN in front of your network, right? How do you do that in the cloud?
You
I have no idea.
hope they have an SSAE 16 cert,
right? And then you laugh at it and you walk away.
Right.
The reality is, what we're doing is we're moving the security perimeter back to the application. So Salesforce.
I think we actually lost the second half of our audience.
Yeah,
the other 4 listeners that we had. Yeah.
So Salesforce or some other Google Google webmail or something, right? A lot of people use it. You can't protect that with a firewall. You can't protect that with an intrusion prevention or detection system, right?
True.
So what do? You protect it with authentication. They already have a password. If you add two-factor to it, let me know how you're going to break into that. We're moving the perimeter back, and that's okay. Cloud computing it's agile. It makes things work better for people. It's cheaper in a lot of cases.
All right, so let me ask you the obvious question. Somebody somewhere is thinking of that plan B. So you've moved the perimeter back. Somebody's thinking of a way to break.
They already broke it.
And it's not a thought exercise, though. It's a reality. If you steal my password in China, how do you get my phone to log in with my phone?
All right.
And because I'm still going to get that authentication alert. That's the entire point.
And that's the part about Duo. Like, we have full audit trails. If someone logs in with your password successfully, and then you get an alert that says accept or deny, you hit deny.
Is there a time frame with
and it
that,
goes
by the
to your
way?
sysadmin
for like if someone has my password and they try to log into my base account, and I get the text message and I don't answer that text message because I'm either asleep or I don't have my phone with me or it's in another room and I don't hear the little bing, whatever. Is there a time frame that expires, or like how does that work from a techie point of view?
So, the thing we're seeing as a company that provides a platform and a service, 37 Signals, they actually rolled their own security solution. They did their
I was
own
just using them as an example, but
that's the inherent part is like every solution's different.
Okay.
How they do security, it's two-factor, sure,
right?
But are they providing the extras that we're providing, like an audit trail or like mobile apps or that kind of thing?
So in the solution that your company provides, like, is there, that login is simply not going to work at all until they get that confirmation text back, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they don't hit accept on that phone when they hit Duo Push, it's going to drop and it's not going to. You're not going to get logged in. If it comes up on your phone as the end user that got their password stolen based on LinkedIn,
right?
You're going to hit deny. That email is going to go immediately to your systems administrator, and they're going to be able to start working on who's breaking in, how's it happening, how they get your password. The biggest thing we find with security isn't the fact that people break in with passwords. It's that there's a lag time of 8 to 12 months
that nobody knows
before anyone knows that anyone's breaking in.
Yeah.
A huge security company on the East Coast in Boston, Mandiant, they found out that 100% of break-ins and breaches, a valid password is used.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean they broke in with a password, but once they broke in, they leveraged extra privilege with
is that phishing? Like they just gain access with the low-hanging fruit, and at that point they're like, it's a playground to them.
It could be phishing.
Yeah.
What else could happen if they've broken in already? They could literally just be on your internal network, sniff people over the network with your passwords, logging into systems that are secure, air quotes, a lot of air quotes here, guys.
Right.
And they take your password off the internal secure network, and then they use that to log in. So it can be common password sniffing, it can be phishing, it could be LinkedIn getting hacked. Whatever the case is, passwords are a good security mechanism, but without two-factor, you're really just kind of waiting and seeing until you get breached.
Skeptical Bob looks skeptical.
Well, Bob, does this ever come up in your sales calls with
No, he's the biggest
Cisco
sales
products?
guy on the planet. You guys are shredding on me for being a sales guy.
No, that's why I wanted to bring you back into the conversation. That's why I want to ask you, like, when you're talking with your...
He's never called me from a bathroom asking what VLAN is.
Dude, that was like an oath to read.
You're still bringing that joke up?
Oath to read,
That's
I
not a
call
joke.
them.
So
it's a joke now.
What about a VPN? If I have a VPN to log into with username and password,
I've never had one customer ever talk to me or want to ask about. I'm lucky to have customers have intrusion prevention.
But you're at the top of the sales funnel, effectively, right? You get them to the contract point, and after that, it's on security support, right?
No,
he directs them to the geeks. Yeah.
No, the geeks usually standing there. With
Bob handles the strip club bar part of the sales process.
Baseball, hockey game. Yeah, go have beers and then go talk to the geeks later. It's a classic Dilbert cartoon.
The problem is about security. Your Cisco ASA, Bob, is perfectly secure. The problem is the people using your Cisco ASA drop the ball. They put a password as password in, and then everything's lost.
That firewall's not secure.
It's weakest link in the chain.
No, I'm not going to. There's no perfect firewall.
Right. Yeah,
and
anyone who thinks that there is not,
Security, there's
the only perfectly secure computer is one that's unplugged.
Oh, that's like telling you,
not connected to the internet.
I locked my front door. My house is good. Like, no, it's not.
Right.
There's a really good security quote from a great security guy, Bruce Schneier. Security is a process, not a product.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, social engineering is a bigger problem than premises.
Yeah, just ask Kevin Mitnick.
Yeah. and that's true. Like if I use two-factor and you call me and say, "Oh, press that accept button on your two-factor," yeah, you'll still break in. Like end user training is at the end of the day the most important part.
Well, if you walk into bigger corporations, they have signs like going, "Hey, if you don't let people trail you in the door with your swipe card."
Absolutely.
Like if there's a guy out there having a cigarette and then all of a sudden you got your swipe card, "Oh, let me in." Like they train them not, it's gotten to that point.
Yeah, that was a punishable offense at EDS when I was there. You don't allow tailgaters in through the vestibule.
I bet.
All right, so before we wrap up here, because we are getting close to the end, let's make sure we hit the high points. So we've got October 17th, Blackfin, Back Room, our next event. Mark, how do people find Duo Security?
We're on Twitter at DuoSec. And if you want to find us on our website, there's a blog.duosecurity.com. And if you want to reach out, I'm at Mark Stanislav.
Because that's not hard to spell at all. We'll have a link on the website.
If you follow the Red Wings hockey team, you probably can spell Stanislav.
True. Good.
And if you don't, I don't want to talk to you anyway. So
outstanding.
Sweet.
Anything else we want to touch on before we wrap up here?
Thanks again to all of our sponsors for last week. It was a phenomenal event.
Well, yeah, and we'll touch on them tomorrow. No, you're good, Bob?
No.
All right. Well, it's the IT and the D show, folks, only at Raw Radio X. Talk to you later.
Have a good night.
We will see you next week.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's all, folks.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound.